Genotro have released its 25-man provisional list for the guys that will execute the 32nd edition of the African Cup of Nations in Egypt. Is the 32nd edition, and it will be held next month. Well, the usual suspect, they are there talking about the captain, John Mikel Obi, is making a comeback to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But the big omission we also discussed on the program this morning. We are going to take a look at the list that has been released by the coach, Genotro. Which of the players do you think should have been added to the Super Eagles squad? Out of the 25, we know that it will be trimmed to 23. Definitely 2 players won't be making the party. We still have some players on standby for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Promise Iheanacho, Kelechi Promise Iheanacho is in this team. Well, most of our have a role to play in the Super Eagles of Nigeria, looking at his prospect, what he has been able to do for Leicester City, the Foxes at the King Power Stadium. Well, the Super Falcons of Nigeria, remember, we are counting down to the 8th FIFA Women's World Cup in Emmanuel Macron's country in France, and they were in Abidjan. They played another game in the WAFU tournament, and these girls are through to the next round. They'll be facing Ghana, the Ghanaian women national team. And of course, we know the Flying Eagles list is also out. We have a whole lot to discuss on EM Sports on IATV. And for the lovers of Antoine Griezmann out there at the Stadio Wanda Metropolitano, is au revoir from the Frenchman, because he will be calling it quits with the Roger Blancos, and he'll be leaving them after 5 successive seasons. Is EM Sports on IATV. Call everyone that care to listen, because it's time to talk sports in a big way on EM Sports on IATV. And we are broadcasting live from the ancient city of Ibadan. This is Impact Africa Television, IATV, channel 181 on Star Times, and the program is EM Sports. Your breakfast sports show on TV is the midweek edition of the show. My name is Isaiah Kinremi, and I'll be your anchor for today's show. I must say we are blessed this morning because we have a special guest in the house talking about former Shooting Stars player, former Super Eagles player, and he's going to join me on this jolly ride into the world of sport, especially to take a look at the 25-man list released yesterday by Genotro and the chances of the Super Eagles of Nigeria in Egypt. Remember, we are not there back-to-back editions. We won it in 2013 in South Africa. Then the coach was late Stephen Keshi. So, Sunday Mba got that goal against Burkina Faso, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria were crowned champions of Africa. It's my pleasure to welcome Duke Udi here with me in the live studio of IATV. Coach, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
It's been a while. I could remember the last time I saw you, not savory moment, but hey, we need to move on. Yeah, good to have you again. Like I said, is about the list for the Super Eagles of Nigeria to Egypt. It was released yesterday by the coach, talking about Genotro, and everyone has been having their say about this list, who should be in this list, who should not be, the addition, the subtraction, and that is why we have you here in the studio. Before I let you say anything, let me just have you think about the work of Genotro, the Franco-German, since he came on board. Remember, he took us to the FIFA World Cup in Russia, and the performance of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Many expected that we would get to the next round, but against Argentina, it was not to be. Most people have said it's a rebuilding process, that we should give him time, the Franco-German. We'll take the scorecard of Genotro, so far so good, en route going to the African Cup of Nations in Egypt.
First and foremost, I have to congratulate the coach and Nigerians in general for the qualification of the Super Eagles, because Super Eagles is the darling team of our nation, and everybody loves Super Eagles because it brings us together as a country.
Unifying factor.
Yeah, whenever they are playing, everybody puts their sentiments apart. It's just the focus of the Super Eagles first and foremost, how we win. That is the most important thing as at that time. And 2, Genotro came on board. Like, I will give him a pass mark.
Okay.
Why did I say so? 1, I'm saying so as a former coach and as a former player, and I'm now a present coach, a current coach. If you look at Genotro, it has been able to stabilize the national team. Now, unlike before, we don't know our national team players. You just pick from anywhere. They say a player is good in Lebanon, they invite him. But now you can see that he has scouts, and he watches, because he's an European, and he's always there. He can fly anywhere from Germany. He can go. He doesn't need any visa. He doesn't need anything. So he keeps tabs on his players. He talks to them often, frequently. That's how it should be. They communicate. You know, the communication is very, very cordial, and the relationship is very, very cordial. So nobody can tell him there's one player in South Korea that he doesn't know. So he followed them, unlike before, where Nigerian, I'm sorry to say, where Nigerian coaches are being told there's a player that plays in Togo with 25 goals, 30 goals. People will just lie and they will invite them. But now you can no more tell lies, because the man is on ground and he has all his scouts around, scattered around the world, and he has his colleagues where he keeps tabs on. And let me tell you one thing about coaching. Coaching is just this: when you have your friend, if I want to take a player from, let's say, Eimba, for example, I have to call the coach and say, how is this player doing? He will not, because these days coaches don't lie. They will tell you the qualities of the player and what the negative and the positive ways of that player before you now say, okay, you want to go for him. So far so good, he has done well. And you know, we are not always satisfied, because every Nigerian is a coach. That is the country we are. Every Nigerian is a coach. Soccer is just anybody can just come and say, this is the formation, this is the formation, that is the formation. But so far so good. Gnonotro, for me, he has tried, and the list that he brought out was, for me, a perfect list.
Okay, pass mark for Gnonotro from you.
Yeah.
And I think you will still take a scorecard after the African Cup of Nations, because he was unable to get to the next round of the FIFA World Cup. Many people believed that is not a pass mark, but you are giving him a pass mark, good one. But I think the African Cup of Nations is a key tournament in which he needs to show to us that he's ready, because after that, trust me, definitely guys will come for him.
First and foremost, you should know that Gnonotro is the only coach that has taken the Super Eagles to the World Cup and came back and he was not sacked.
Yeah, that's true.
That is the first coach, because he has done a great job. And two, Gnonotro is the only coach, I will tell you, and Clemens Westerhoff, that will not put sentiments over anything, team selection. They don't want to know. First of all, it's merit over origin, because they don't care where you come from. Unlike other coaches that they will say, this is from my place, this is from my place. Gnonotro, no. He picks players on merit, and that is how football should be run. While we were playing, we were picked on merit, not sentiments or where you come from. So that he has been able to do, and that is why the Super Eagles today, everybody is fighting for their position. Unlike before, they will say Mikel is 100% sure. Nobody is sure in that list. Just few players that are sure. Everybody has to fight.
Okay, well, everybody needs to fight for their shirts, and I tell you, the 25-man list need to fight for, you know, a place on the plane to go to Egypt, because it's going to be a fight to finish, but two won't be lucky because they will be dropped at the end of the day. And that is why I have Dukudi here with me. We want to take a look at the 25-man list. And of course, that is it on your screen down there, the 25-man list of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And coach, let's just take a look at it. Let's start from the goalkeeping position. Well, no prizes for guessing. These three guys, I'm coming to that. I think that will be another discussion. Francis Uzo of Anathosis Famagusta. We have Daniel Akpeyi, who plies his trade with the PSL team in South Africa. And not forgetting Ike Chukun Ezinwa. Let me just go through the defense. We have Olaoluwa, he had a very fantastic season with Torino in the Serie A. We have Chiruzi Awaziem, there's William Trustek, Dennis, Kenneth Omeru, who won. I remember he was part of the La Liga team of the week, back to back. Jamilu Collins, we have Shemilo Guajayi. Of course, the midfielders, John Mikel will be the captain. The recent uproar about the inclusion of Mikel in the team, despite not kicking the ball in the qualifying series. Wilfred Ndidi, Ogeneka Retebo. There's John Ogu. We have Ahmed Musa's forward line. There's Victor Osimhen. There's Moses Simon, Enru Yekuru, Odion Igalu, Alex Iwobi. We have Samuel Kalu. There's Paul Onuachu. Kelechi Iheanacho is there. And of course, Samuel Chukwueze, in which many people believe should have been with the Flying Eagles, talking about the under-20 team, Paul Aigbegun's team. On standby, we have 6 of them: Theophilus Afelohi of Eimba, Brian Idowu of Lokomotiv Moscow, Ikuvem Utin of Eimba, there's Mikel Agbo of Victoria Setubal, and Junior Ajayi, not forgetting Valentine Ozonwafo. Coach, let's start from the goalkeeping position. Any addition, any subtraction? Is this the best three that Nigeria can offer, especially for their pursuit of the league, the Nigerian Premier League, that we believe we still have some quality goalkeepers that should have been given a look in, especially to Felix Afelokai of Eimba FC. But it seems Gnonotro have stick with this automatic 3 of Francis Uzo. Many people believe not very good performance at the World Cup. We saw him during the qualifying series, the clanger against Seychelles, that is jittery. There's Daniel Akpeyi. Many people believe when he put on the green and white, he's not in his habitat, he's not in his zone. And not forgetting Ike Chukwuezewa of Katsina United.
First and foremost, I want to tell Nigerians that we've enjoyed goalkeeping department for a very long time. We have good goalkeepers in the previous years in the Super Eagles. That was not a problem because we have people like Ikeshorumu, Peter Rufai. You name them, we have them. We've enjoyed goalkeeping. Vincent Iyama. We've enjoyed goalkeeping success in the previous years. So when it comes to now, so I don't always complain about it. It happens in football. Sometimes in a team you have good midfielders, and there come a time you will be struggling to get those kind of midfielders.
But coach, that is the department we are suffering.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, because we've enjoyed it before. So now we are short of goalkeepers. I don't say short of goalkeepers in the sense that these are the ones that don't forget, the coach is responsible for the success of a team or the failure of a team. We can only cry foul because we are outside. We are fans or supporters, like we call ourselves. But the coach has the mainstay of the team. If anything happens to the team, he's the one that will be fired.
Definitely.
So he has to pick players who will do the job for him not to be fired. So don't get it wrong. When people say, Yana showed this, the coach has to sit down with his technical crew, analyze one-on-one before you invite a player as a coach, because I'm talking as a coach.
Okay.
Before I will invite a player, let me put myself for example. Before I invite player, I will look at the pedigree of that player. If somebody is telling me, for example, Yana Shaw is not a good player, he's not supposed to be in the list. For me personally, I adapt.
We are coming to you in a
Okay, the goalkeeper department, what he should have done personally for me, he should have added Afolokai to make it fair so that everybody, not on standby.
Everybody have a level playing field.
Yes, so that everybody.
Among those three, which one are you confident of going forward? Because I think after Vincent left, and also no thanks to the acute leukemia suffered by Kali Keme, we've been having issues change here and there concerning the goalkeeping department. For
me, I respect the opinion of the coach, because he knows better. He has worked with them better. So for him, again, inviting after the cries and everything about our goalkeeping problem, he still brought those some goalkeepers on board. And don't forget, they have World Cup experience behind them. In between three of them, they have World Cup experience. You don't buy experience. So he looked at it and said, okay, fine. I'm going for a big tournament like the African Nations Cup. Why will I go and bring a player? Because if you look at the Super Eagles for now, most of them are debutants. You people should not forget, when people start saying things, most of them are debutants. If you just, let me shift you back. And let me take you back.
Okay.
Most of our players are debutants. Just about 4 or 5 of them who are tasted the Nations Cup, who are experienced. The rest are all debutants. So
but coach, in 2013 we have more debutants also when Coach Stephen Keshi took them on board, and the result was.
If you look at 2013 and now, every country has top class professionals. Every country that is going for this Nations Cup, it's not like 2013. 2013, if you compare 2013 and this 2019, you will see that the minors, even the ones the country will call minors, they have top class professionals playing all over the world. So there's no minors in this Nations Cup. Every team that qualified merited to be there. So you can't say one team is a pushover, one team is a minor. So if we are going with about, let's say, 15 debutants. So how are you not sure that one player is better than another? These are the 3 players, the 3 goalkeepers, they have experience. So if you are taking 3 of them to the Nations Cup, for me, I don't have any problem with them.
Okay.
When we set our midfield and our defense very well, the keepers has no big deal to do.
Okay, let's go to the defense line. Ola Oluwaina, Chidozie Awaziem, William Ekong, there's Kenneth Omeru, Jamilu Collins, Shemi Ajayi. Those are the defense line that Geno Troy is taking to the Nations Cup. And like you said, if we have a very good defense, definitely, the goalkeeping position also will be solid. If the defense line is not solid, that means issues at the back line. I know William Ekong, UDNS, but the Oyibo wall of Ekong and Leon Balogun, looking at the scorecard with Brighton and Overbeyond, no place for him. Duff and Donkey, those guys, really took over the defense line for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Going forward for us, Super Eagles of Nigeria going forward, the defense line. Are you okay with that? And which one can you say will be your pairing?
I really want to erase this impression. When you look at, first of all, when you want to pick, let me give you an instance. For example, Clement Westerhoff, when he wants to invite players, he invites players based on the league you play. not based on what you are doing in your club. I give you an instance because West Ham said something. He was inviting a player from Late Thompson. He was inviting him from Iwayawu National.
Okay.
Why players in Europe will be complaining? He now said something. He said, it's not the club that you play. It's what you play for the club. And okay, let me give you, you said Trusikong is not playing for Brighton.
No,
Balogun. If you look at the Premier League itself, how can I pick a player from Lebanese league because he's scoring 10 goals or he's playing consistently week in, week out from Lebanese league to compare him to somebody who is playing the Premier League?
So
that is not
the quality of the
league.
The
quality of the league. That is what we coach. Me personally, I will pick the quality of the league before the player.
If he's on the bench,
I will pick the quality of that league first because the quality of that league will tell that league that is playing will tell you.
Coach, if he's good, he should be able to penetrate and get a status shirt in that team.
That same person that is playing in Lebanon that you think is playing consistently, let him come to that same Premier League. He will not play.
But for Balogun, you need to sit up. Why I told you in my introduction that Kenneth Omeru won. He was part of the team of the week in La Liga. He has had a fantastic season with CD Leganes at the Spanish La Liga Santander, and we've looked at it holistically, and it seems if Balogun does not sit up, it seems Omeru is knocking at the door. I might just start alongside possibly.
Can I tell you something? Let me tell you something. There's a difference between a player playing for his national team and playing for his club side. We have a player in the national team. I don't want to call his name. Anytime he plays for his club in Belgium, fantastic player. When they invite him to the national team, I was with him in Super Eagles. They invite both of us to the Super Eagles. When he plays in the national team, the fans will be complaining. Change this man, change this man. You see, it's different. Club side is different from national team. I want to give you an instance. You see Balogun, when he comes to the national team, he plays with his whole heart. He plays very well because he plays people that understand him very well. And you know, in the Super Eagles, there's a free way for him to express himself. But in the Premier League, there's a tradition that you must follow. You know, the Premier League coaches are different. They are more disciplined and more tactical. Here, we don't have tactics that you say, this is the rules that you're going to. But in Europe, they tell you how to play.
We don't have tactics.
Yes, yeah. There's no solid tactics. That's okay. If you ask me, what do the Super Eagles play? Who can explain what we play? But if you ask me what Barcelona play, I will be able to tell you the pattern and structure of Barcelona. I can tell you. Why are they saying Manchester United are not playing the way of Alex Ferguson? Because Manchester United has their structure and the way they play. Nigeria does not have a structure and the way we play. We just play the way we want to play.
That is the truth. I think we need to really work more on that. No tactics, we play.
Yeah, we just play the way we play.
Okay, that's
every player can. Let me tell you one thing. Every player in the Super Eagles can express himself. He wants to show both and everything. But in Europe, you don't show both. It's about business.
Discipline.
You see Raheem Sterling, it's about business.
Okay.
But here you want to show both so that they say, okay, you are the best player on the field.
Well, for me, like I told Coach, I think Kenneth Omeru, was it the last 2 games of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, he got the starter shirt, and I think it's good if there's rivalry, any rivalry.
No, it's a very. I'm not saying Omeru does not. Omeru can.
Rivalry, exactly.
If you look at the consistency,
the next man,
it's supposed to pair Chris Ekong for me.
Okay.
Because Omeru and Chris Ekong perfect.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
For now.
Coach, let's go to the midfield. We have, of course, John Mikel Obi. We'll discuss about that of Middlesbrough. We have Wilfred Ndidi, who has had a fantastic season. For the records, Ndidi, is now the 3rd Nigerian to have played all games in the English Premier League. For last season, he played all games for Leicester City, and he joined the likes of Joseph Yobo, who did with Everton, and Victor Moses, who did likewise for Wigan Athletic. So that shows that Wilfred Ndidi is a top-notch player, and that is one we'll be looking out for. Ogene Karetebo and John Ogu. Wow, John Mikel Obi, should he have been in this team?
For me personally, he should be in the team. He's a leader. A team needs a leader. And don't forget, Mikel Obi still has a lot to give to the national team. Mikel Obi still has a lot to give to the national team. Like I said, you don't just bring. I don't want to use that name, rookies, because if you look at it, they are debutants. We have a lot of debutants in that team. So we need to bring somebody who have experience that will guide them. In football, we need to say somebody that will guide you. When we were playing in 3SC, we were all young players, but they used to put Brighton Mokaro, they call him 10-10, and Jibadi Babalade to control us.
Okay.
Even at their age, they still play with us.
So we are not way past John Mikel.
No.
Remember,
We need him.
He never kicked a ball during the African Cup of Nations.
You see, these things are two different things. Don't compare your club side to the national team. Mikel has a fantastic career in the national team. Anytime he comes to, he will deliver. Anytime he comes to play for Nigeria, he will deliver. He's a leader. You don't buy leadership. He's a leader.
Is it about the leadership role? Because looking at the setup pattern in the midfield.
See, Mikel can give you, in terms of the game, he wants to play, he will play for you. 2, he will control and give his leadership role. So you have 2 advantages from Mikel. And the boys, they look at him as a role model. If Mikel is on the pitch, they know this is somebody. You know, he will tell them, listen, we are not losing this game. Hey, guys, this is the way we're going to play. When things are up, he's going to calm. There's someone that will calm the game down. That will tell you, there's a time you put pace in the game. There's a time you reduce the game.
Reduce it,
that's the truth. But when you are young, you want to play and play. There's no time to kill the game. If you watch top teams, like I said in Europe, the first thing when I went to Switzerland, the first thing they told me, the coach brought me to his office and he said, listen, this is the way we play, not the way you play. It's different. This is the way you must follow. When you lose the ball, you must come to the midfield to make. That is why you see they tell you compact the midfield. You don't stay in the wing. You understand? Before they now brought this wing play, modern wing backs. They now brought it. Before, normally when you lose the ball, you come in. You now 5 midfielders. Yes. Okay. When we have the ball again, we go. So it's different. But in the national team setting, we need Mikel.
For the long term?
Not for the long time. If this is his last AFCON and he say goodbye, he has done well.
Okay. Well, John Mikel Obi has done well according to Coach Duke Udi. Let's go straight to the forward lines. Quick one. Ahmed Musa, of course, someone said when Musa is in Nigeria, in the green and white green of Nigeria, Musa is a goal. Some said possibly he should be the next president of Nigeria. On a lighter note, Aaron Yekuru, this guy, moving to Galatasaray on loan. He has had a very good season also with Galatasaray in Turkey. There's Odion Jody Gallo of Shanghai Shenhua, who was the highest goal scorer, remember, in the qualifying series. Sorry, we have Samuel Kalu of Girondins de Bordeaux. Not forgetting Kelechi Iheanacho, who we are discussing off set. There's Samuel Chukwueze in that team. Coach, going forward, Odion Gallo got good for us during the qualifiers. Many people never forgave him during the World Cup against Argentina. Many people believe this is still the main problem why we did not beat Argentina. And after the World Cup, I could remember Ken Genotro said, I will still stick with him. I will still give him the chance. And he came back, joined the qualifiers. He banged goals with reckless abandon. He was, he emerged as the highest goal scorer in the qualifying series. And it seems it might just be our top shot going to the African Cup of Nations. But it seems we're having stiff competition up front. Imagine stars like Paul Onuachu, there's the Charleroi man, Victor Osimhen, and Yekuru, fit-footed player, fantastic.
For me, that is what, like I told you, I said, thank God they brought Gennett Roy. If, for example, like you said, like you rightly said, after the World Cup, if he's an indigenous coach, with all due respect,
you are part of them.
I'm part of them, but I'm just telling you the truth. One, they will not invite Odion Igalo to the national team again.
Why? Pressure?
Pressure, one. Because they will tell you, when Nigerians are clamoring for Igalo not to be invited, but the man still, because he believed. And as a coach, there's one thing you must do you must believe in yourself, your ability. Because when people start complaining and say, this player is not good, this player is not good, and you start shop-changing the players, you're not a good coach. He saw something in Igalo, and he knew Igalo's presence in our national team in the forward line is something that every other defenders will be scared of. Because of his quality, because of his personality. He said, no, anybody can make mistake. Great players do make mistake. So he invited him back, and the guy paid him back. It's just for us to learn from that coach, that you don't just throw away a player because he made 2 or 3 errors. If he's a good player, stick by him, and he's going to deliver. Now he has delivered. So for me, he's one of the players that will lead us in our attack.
Going forward, you think we should be rest assured of goals going to the Nations Cup, especially with Paul Onuachu and of course Victor Osimhen, Henry Yekuru, and Samuel Chukwueze and the likes.
Like I still told you, most of our strikers are debutants. So me, I don't expect so much from them. If they get to the semi-final, for me personally, I'm okay.
I'm coming to that. Is that the target? That should be the minimum.
For me
target
personally,
of
I'm
the
okay. Yeah, personally, I'm okay if they get to the semi-final.
Well,
because why am I saying that? Is one, because most of these players are debutants. Forget that they play in Europe. African Nations Cup is a different ball game if you've been there. African Nations Cup is a different ball game. Look at Aubameyang. When it comes to the Nations Cup qualifier, he cannot even find his feet.
It's a shame we won't see him in the Nations Cup.
That is African football. See, African football is a different terrain. Because the physicality in the game is different, because referees will not protect you like in Europe.
Coach, going to the semi-finals for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, don't you think we should be aiming higher? Because I think if we get to the semi-finals, Nigerians will still be happy. They will believe we should be able to win the Nations Cup.
We take when we get to the semi-final, for me, it's a job well done. But for me, it's a job well done. From there, anything can happen. When you get to the semi-final, anything can happen because you meet the best. The best four will now remain.
Talking about the best, Genotro said, going to the Nations Cup, we are not the favorite. We have Egypt. Mohamed Salah is coming. We have Senegal.
Yeah.
And I think maybe he's playing mind games, taking off the pressure from his players and saying Nigeria, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, are not favourites going to the Nations Cup. Does that speak volume? Because I'm coming to the quality of Super Eagles players. You know, joining our morning shows on radio, we roll out scorecards. We have Mo Salah doing well. You just saw Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and Aubameyang, between them 66 goals. These guys were the top players. They bagged, the golden boot of the English Premier League, 22 goals. Gone are the days, during your days, when we have Nigerian players playing in big leagues, big clubs in Europe, commanding good transfer fees. And right now, I can't even pinpoint maybe if I pick Alex Iwobi of Arsenal, maybe let's just say possibly Kelechi, indeed doing well with Leicester City. Look at the quality of Aubameyang, quality of Salah, quality of Sadio Mane, doing it week in, week out, and compared to Nigerian players. Maybe that is where Genotro is looking at it, that we don't rank, with some of these nations, Egypt, Senegal, looking at the quality of players and their exploit in Europe.
Like I said, I was in Asaba, the friendly game against Egypt. I was in Asaba, and I told the journalists when they were interviewing me, I told them, they said, Duke, how do you look at the prospect of the Super Eagles in the Nations Cup? I told them the truth, because you say it as it is. If you look at our current Super Eagles, with all due respect, like I used to always tell you, they are debutants. But if you look at the Senegalese national team, man on man, you will know these are men. Quality players from quality league. Week in, week out, they are playing. I can name 12 week in, week out, top class players. But after that, you made mention of 2 players. Aside that 2 players that you made mention of, the rest are struggling, small clubs here and there.
What is happening to us?
You see, it's not about us. It's about the quality of the game. The game has changed. Look at our league. What makes a country national team be strong? Is the kind of league you present.
You are coming to the league.
Look at the league. If your league is good, your national team will be perfect. Because you have, when we're playing in the national team, the Super Eagles, on my position, I have 3 people. I'm the best player in the league, local league. I have Finidi George. I have Tijani Babangida. I'm the 3rd in the Super Eagles. I'm an home-based player. Yeah. So when I go to the national team, Bonfrijo will tell me, just learn. I knew I was learning. But now we don't learn to just throw you. Because I knew I cannot play when Tijani is there.
When Finidi is there.
No. They took me to the midfield again. JJ Okocha was there. You understand? Olise was there. We were so Karibo Jigwe. I started learning from them.
Names.
I started learning from them. So when I come back to my club in Ibadan here, I'm a superstar.
Of course.
Because I've learned from it. But how do you
I learned a lot about you, shooting stars.
Who do you learn from? Let me ask you, who do you learn from? Let me tell you let me tell you the truth. Forget that the player plays in Norway. It's almost the same like a player playing in Eimba. If our league is properly run, those days we don't go to Norway. If you tell me you give me Norway visa, I will not go.
Why?
I will not play in the national team. I will not play. Bonfrijo will not invite you. You play in Israel. You come and tell Bonfrijo there's a player that scores 50 goals in Israel. Bonfrijo
but if you play in the local league and you are good.
If you play, Thompson Olia will play he plays in Iwayo National. He will play in the national team. The other top class players from they will sit on the bench.
Okay, Coach, I know 2 players will be dropped, going forward. Which of them do you think, want to make the cut for the Super Eagles of Nigeria out of the 25?
For me personally, I would have loved if the coach has made the list 30.
Okay.
Because normally that's what they use. They use 30, so everybody will fight.
Level playing field.
We'll go to the camp. Everybody will fight.
Prove yourself.
Yes, because injuries might come. If they are 30, injuries might come, maybe 2 or 3, because those ones are still in the program. They are with you. If you are going to Austria, they are there. Okay. Not this ones that you leave at home. Then you not call Folokai, please come. He's not been training. God forbid, if 2 goalkeepers now injured, somebody thank you. You are in Austria, somebody is in Abba. That is not playing. Then you now call him and say you come and keep match. He should have invited 30 players.
Okay.
Let them fight for their position. Then he will not bring out 23 man list.
Out of the 30, proposed 30.
Okay. Thank you.
But now we have 25.
Now we have 25. So he's going to drop 2. But if you look at the 25 players, for me, perfect list.
Perfect list. No addition, no subtraction.
But
2 will finally be dropped.
List. Anybody that's not on this list, I mean, this list is on merit.
Okay, is on merit. It made mention of the local league, in which if you are good, playing for Shooting Stars, playing for Imba, you will be invited by the head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But right now, there's a paradigm shift. You know, we now have bulk of our players playing abroad in foreign leagues, and I think just Ikechukwu is one of Katsina United was invited. That is the only home-based player. Well, we have coach here. We'll discuss about the local league, what is happening in the Nigerian local league, what is happening to security, violence. Shooting Stars, it was once an ex-player of Shooting Stars. We take a look at Shooting Stars in the Nigerian National League. They are doing well right now. And also, well, Oshu United also, he had an affiliation with Oshu United. I will ask him some few questions. I think we have the highlight of the championship. The English championship is getting hot. Norwich City have qualified. They won, the EFL Championship, and also Sheffield United will be seeing them in the English Premier League next season. Now we are looking for just one team to join them. There was a game played yesterday at the Altons between West Bromwich Albion against Aston Villa. That is a derby down there. Let's check that out. And when we're back, we still have more for you on AM Sport on IATV.
Para il portiere del Villa. Sbaglia il primo calcio di rigore West Bromwich. Ma il mancino irlandese spiazza netto Johnston, rigore perfetto di Conor Hourihane. 1-0 per l'Aston Villa, secondo giro. Egazzi, impressionante nelle 2 semifinali, ha un filo ceduto nella semifinale di andata, come ha ceduto tutta la squadra sulla pressione estenuante Ahmed Egazzi. La solita danza di Stir che non si muove dalla linea ma cerca di deconcentrare l'avversario. Deve andare Egazzi, Stir ne para un altro. Eroico Stir che ha parato i primi 2 rigori del West Bromwich Albion. L'Aston Villa adesso può andare molto vicino a Wembley. Parte l'australiano, impeccabile, spiazzato Johnston, un'occhiata alla sua curva da parte del duro e dà speranze al WBA. Rigore da ghiacciolo questo di Tosin ad Arabioio. 1-2 e l'Aston Villa deve ancora battere il terzo. Ci pensa questi colori 1905 ovviamente. Grealish guarda fino all'ultimo Johnston, fulminato ancora una volta il portiere del West Brom, spiazzato 3 volte su 3, 3 rigori perfetti da parte dei Villains. Il bacio di Jack Grealish ai suoi tifosi, prova a far fuori la tensione, accarezza addirittura il palo, rigore millimetrico, imparabile quello di Gibbs. Ancora vita il West Bromwich Albion da questo duello. Albert a Domà, calcia alto, sbaglia Domà che ha avuto 2 volte la palla, se ne concede un altro, guarda solo il pallone, Abraham col brivido ma segna, l'Aston Villa è in finale playoff, l'Aston Villa va a Wembley con il rigore del suo capocannoniere, la beffa per Johnson.
Okay, good one for Aston Villa. Tammy Abraham, you saw him there with the guys from the Villa Park, and I think they are through to the next round. I think it should be big between Leeds United and I'm trying to remember. Okay, Derby County. Let's know who they will face in the last game that we played at Wembley. It's still AM Sport on IATV. I've still got Coach Duke Udi here with me. Coach, let me just quickly take you foreign. Just brief one. We just saw the end of the English Premier League. Some said one of the best, season we've seen. So far, so good. Manchester City and Liverpool. Liverpool finished with 97 points. That is the highest for a runner-up in any of the big leagues in Europe. And Manchester City, fantastic season. Pep Guardiola has won the league back-to-back. He joined the likes of Alex Ferguson and Jose Mourinho. World champion Manchester City. And you think if Liverpool have won, they are world champions. It came second, and some said that was a fantastic performance from Jurgen Klopp.
The first thing about the Premier League is they've done a lot of packaging. They've rebranded their league, and we can see the results. It's just it's a long time team. But look at the result today. They have 4 teams in the Europa
League final, Champions
League final. So that is hard work. They don't just get there on a platter of gold. It was hard work. You have to invest in anything you do for you to reap the fruit of what you've invested. They've been investing, trying to mash up the other bigger leagues. Previously it was Italian league.
AC Milan.
From Italian league, it went to Spanish league. But look at the Premier. They started going. If you look at the Chinese league now, what they are doing now, they are doing it for a long time. The next 10 years,
long-term projects.
The next 10 years, you see the Chinese league will be among the top best leagues in this world, because you have to invest. That's what we are talking about. Our Premier League here in Nigeria, we have to invest, and the investment is just this on all aspects: television rights, journalism.
Because I don't know how we will sell our league, improve our league when we can't see them live on TV.
It's everybody. All hands have to be on deck. That is the truth. The journalists must be on board. All major stakeholders must be on board. Then the most important thing is the referees and the fans. We have to educate the referees and the fans. Anywhere there is corruption, the league can never grow. Let me tell you the truth.
Okay, let's come down to the league, because it seems you're passionate about the local league. I can understand the league when we were playing with Shooting Stars then, and the league right now. What is the difference?
The difference is just we were playing for passion and for the name of our family, just for the name and passion. If you are wearing the 3SC jersey, I remember when I left Concord for Ibadan, when I came to 3SC the first morning I trained, I saw Brighton Mokaru 10-10, I saw Late Egbe Fawole, I saw Besogedegbe and Co. I was like, these are the people that I idolized. I watched them on television. Now with them on the same dressing room, it was a motivation for me that I have to do well. And because they are senior players, they will tell you the only thing is merit. Because there we don't know how to, all these bribery cases are not there, that you bribe coaches and everything, with all due respect. Unlike now, you bribe coaches to get players signed on, players who cannot kick the ball, players who cannot play well. You look at our league, they cannot even make 5 passes, with all due respect. So what are we teaching the players? But unlike before we were playing in 3SC, by 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, the stadium is jam-packed. I remember our match against Zamalek, our in Liberty Stadium. Yes. We that want to play the match, they were telling us in Dirovans, we were in Dirovans. Around 10 o'clock, they said the stadium is filled.
Capacity.
They came to our hotel and said, stadium don't full. We were in the hotel at 10 o'clock, we are the one that play 4 o'clock, but the stadium is jam-packed. But look at the stadium today.
What is the way forward? Because I could remember the last time we won, African, championship, talking about the CAF Champions League, or even the CAF. No Nigerian club side have won the CAF Confederation Cup. It was Enyimba 2003, 2004, and since then, Nigerian clubs have been unable to get to the zenith of African club football.
Let me tell you one thing.
Let
me tell you one thing. The first thing, with all due respect, I say it as it is, because I want this country to be good and I want our football to get to that level. First and foremost, they put sentiment over merit. That is the truth, and it must be merit over origin. I don't want to know where you come from. Personally, as a coach, I don't want to know where you come from. I'm not from Ibadan.
If you are good,
but I settled in Ibadan today because of 3SC. All my life now is Ibadan because of 3SC brought me to because in 3SC, let me tell you one thing about 3SC. 3SC is just like Enyimba. The only 2 things in this country that I will tell you today, that they don't put sentiment, they don't put where you come from. They play you. If you are from the east, you are from the west, you are from the south. If you are good, 3SC will sign you. If you are good, Enyimba will sign you. That is why you see they get results. And you see the number one problem in this country today in our football is administration, politics. When a governor comes in, he will just bring somebody from nowhere, put the person as the chairman of the club.
Part of the apostle of the government should hands off sports, create an enabling environment, allow to try private, individuals should come on board and take over.
If they don't want to hands up, they should bring people who knows football. If it's a journalist that knows football, bring the journalist and make him the chairman of 3SC. I don't care, because it will help the team. Look at Aqua United. Paul Bassi is a journalist.
Good.
And he's doing a fantastic job. One of the best chairman with all due respect in this country today.
Okay. Let's look at Shooting Stars, affiliation Shooting Stars. I want the coach of Oshu United. Shooting Stars are doing well right now in the NNL. They are top of their group. Oshu United at the bottom. Things are not right with the Omoluabi Giants.
That is the difference between consistency and inconsistency. That is the truth. In Oshu United, Chief Ogujobi, that with all due respect, we so rest in perfect peace. As soon as he left, nobody to fill that vacuum. When the commissioner now brought people, he dissolved the board members who were there, who knows everything about the team. He brought his own people. That is what I'm saying. People who don't even know how to run football, you just put them in football circle, they will mess that place up. Look at 3SC today. Balogun is still there, doing a fantastic job because they call it consistency. If this new governor come in now and say Balogun, okay, continue for the next 2 years.
Okay.
After 2 years, if you want to tell Balogun to go, because he's doing a good job, they should carry on. You have to encourage them, not that you come again and you disband everybody and bring new ones.
So no structure,
no
Oshu
structure,
United, and that is what's affecting them.
That is the
right
problem
now
with Oshu United. But look at 3SC today, the same coaches, the same everything. They kept their coaching crew. I was so excited. But look at the wonderful job they are doing.
Okay, well, we'll see how it pans out for Oshu United and Shooting Stars towards the end of the NL season. Before we go, lastly, I just want to have your take, Coach, on the security challenge in our match venues and violence. I remember from the start of the season, we were rocked with different issues of security and violence. And most people have said that the LMC, the authorities, are not doing well enough, to curb this menace that has come, into Nigerian football. I don't know if you had the opportunity to see the game between the Academy Warriors and Go Round in Maiduguri. At the end of the game, it ended 2-2. And the players were held hostage, at the center of the pitch. The military men have to come on board and, they shot into the air. And we've seen players and officials beaten black and blue by our fans. What should be done to curtail this in our match venues? Some said possibly demotion to the second tier. Some said possibly take a chunk of their point off, because it seems we come to, on this platform and reiterate this over and over again about violence in our match centers.
Number one, the management and the coaches are the problem of this. How do I put it? This is security, because they want to win at all costs.
Win at all costs syndrome.
That is just the truth, because they are used to this, their normal thing. Because before it's not a norm in the Nigerian league system that every team wants to win the league.
We have 3 outcomes in football: you win, you draw, you lose.
See, in Europe, let me tell you one thing. In Europe, a team like Brighton will not say they want to win the league. But in Nigeria, a team that just come just got promoted to the Premier League will tell you they want to win the league. Every team wants to win the league in Nigeria. Some management will tell you, just get to the top 10. In Europe, get to the top 10, we are okay. Just stabilize this team in the Premier League, we are okay. But in Nigeria here, everybody wants to win at all costs. Everybody wants to win the league. That is the problem. So when the game is not favoring them, they will go and be even we coaches. Let me tell you, coaches, we do it. We will tell our supporters to go and fight. And you see now, they are sitting us.
That most of the clubs, those thugs, they know them.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm a coach, and I've coached in the Premier League. Let me tell you one thing. I was the coach of Rangers 2 years ago, before I came to Sunshine. In Rangers is where in Enugu is one of the best places you can watch football in this country. Peacefully. You see families. We lost 3 matches while I was the coach of Rangers. We lost 3 matches at home. No, while they clapped for us. They
Coach,
just went.
You know what? We need to go. But I think education is needed so that we can educate the fans and also the major stakeholders. I know you have a lot to deliver this morning. That means when next we call on you, I'll gladly oblige.
It's my pleasure. Always.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
that was Duke Udi, fantastic, performance here on AM Sports on IATV. Duke Udi, former ex-international of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Once a player for Shooting Stars, he has coached some of the clubs in the Nigerian Professional Football League. I must say thank you for coming once again.
Thank you.
And a big thank you to you guys out there for being a big part of AM Sports on IATV and the guys at the MCR pressing the right buttons. Please join us tomorrow for another wonderful edition of AM Sports on IATV. My name is Isaiah Kinremi. Good morning.
We are set again to take the